in the world you are. I am in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So if you do come on live, just say hi. I don't think I'll be able to chat with you because honestly, I don't know how the chat works. What is this? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how the chat works on YouTube. Okay, the video I'm going to do today is because a lot of people have asked me. You see the title, it says my feelings regarding President Donald Trump's attack, okay, inverted commas, on South Africa. So I'm going to talk about this. And now a disclaimer. I am simply speaking as a layperson, okay? I always say that, as a person who just simply lives in the world. So I'm not an expert, but let me just first share this video on my Facebook page. Okay, and I also need to share it on my X page. Yeah, so I'm trying to see. Let me open the door for my cat. Yeah, so I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see how my live chats go on YouTube. I've tried a few, it never goes well. It goes well on TikTok, X and YouTube is not that good because I don't have a large following. So anyway, I also see I have a lot of new people who watch my videos on YouTube, but can you please subscribe? I've been trying for many years now. I think since 2018, I've been trying to get at least to 1,000 members. It is so difficult. I don't know, maybe my content is not good enough, which I don't think it's not, because I see a lot of people watching my videos. They just don't comment and they just don't participate. But it will help me a lot if you could subscribe, at least like, comment, whatever. Okay, so if you see the title of this live, oh, I see 8 people. If you see the title of this last, hi, I see some likes. Hello, oh, hello, Alex. Thanks for saying hello. What I'm going to talk about in this video is my feelings concerning President Trump's. Oh, thank you, Alex, for liking and subscribing. Concerning President Trump's attack on South Africa. Because he says, people have been asking me, what are my feelings? So I thought I'll make a live video so that everyone can see what my feelings are. Others have to tell certain people. I don't know, this one said no. I don't know what no for what. You know, people can just write, oh, bullied loner, shame, I feel sorry for you. Okay, no, he just said no. Okay, anyway. Okay, he wants to talk about kids of war. This is, I think you're on the wrong channel. This channel is not about children from war. You people elected him. No, I'm not a US citizen. Okay, my name is Celeste. You can see my channel's name. I am a South African. So I'm going to talk about my feelings about President Donald Trump, my feelings regarding his attack on South Africa, because he's been attacking a lot of South Africans' domestic policies and international policies. Okay, so, oh, you from Malaysia? Yeah, because this time of the day I get a lot of course, I'm actually in Malaysia. This time of the day I get a lot of people from Malaysia. Later at 9 p.m. Malaysian time, I have to do a different video for my South African people. Okay, right, so I'm going to continue talking now about this issue. So again, disclaimer out here, I am not an expert. I'm just a normal person I'm a South African citizen. So this concerns me. No, I do not speak any Chinese languages, which is Hokkien, Mandarin, Hakka, Cantonese. I speak none of those because I am not Chinese. Okay? So, well, you don't have to be Chinese to be able to speak a Chinese language. It's just that I don't speak. I speak English and I speak Afrikaans. Okay, so, and I'm not from Malaysia. Okay, so let me continue with this. Because I know in Malaysia, it's very important for people to know your race, to know your religion, to know your ethnicity, in order for them to be able to engage with you. But I'm speaking on a global forum because a global platform, because YouTube is global. So normally in other countries, we don't go around asking people what's your nationality, what's your race. We don't ask this because it's not important. You know, we just look at the person, we listen what they have to say, and then from there we form the opinion. Maybe certain things we might want to know about, maybe because sometimes your opinion is based on your race or whatever, but that is not the main focus. So for Malaysians, let me just get that out there. Yeah, what I'm going to talk about now is in the context of South Africa and what is happening there with what is happening with President Donald Trump and my feeling about it, my personal feelings. Now, I'm not speaking for the whole of South Africa. I'm speaking for myself, okay? So, okay, he says he's Asian. Okay, hi. Oh, okay, Alex, you are Asian. Yeah. No, I'm not Asian. Okay, right. So, to get back to the story. So, for those of you who have been following the news, you will see that South Africa has been coming under fire with the USA for many things, especially our domestic policies and our international policies. So international policies is because South Africa stands with Palestine. Okay, we support Palestine. So of course the US doesn't like this. Also, South Africa has taken the Israeli government to the ICJ, okay, the International Criminal Justice Court, for their crimes against humanity that they are committing in Gaza. So the US doesn't like this either, okay? Also because, let me see, other international policies. Other international policies, because South Africa is a BRICS nation. The US does not like that South Africa is a BRICS nation. The other thing is because South Africa's allies are like Russia and Cuba and Iran. And these three countries are like enemies of the US. So the US doesn't like that South Africa must friend these people. Okay, so that's the international issues. The domestic issues is that the USA has been told that the minority race, now we have many minority races. I'm a minority race in South Africa, but not my race. The white minority race in South Africa, and even not the entire white minority race. Within the white minority race, there's another race, which is the Afrikaners. They have been complaining about mistreatment. So they've been complaining that there's a genocide against them, that their land is getting taken away from them, that they are not being given an area that they can claim as their own and then build their own city there and be independent or their own province and be independent from South Africa and have their own laws and their own economy and whatever. So these are the things they've been complaining to the USA about. So yeah, so anyway, so I don't want to get into detail about that, but anyway, I'm going to get back to what my feelings are, because Trump is supporting these Afrikaner minorities by saying that Oh, the other thing also that has happened just yesterday is that the South African ambassador to the USA has been expelled from the USA because he made some remarks against President Trump and the Trump administration. So he's been kicked out. So there's a big hoo-ha about this, okay? But my thing is, what are my feelings about this? So about President Trump himself, not so much about the issues, but about President Trump himself, because it is very common for people, because of their anger towards what is happening, and already a lot of them, they already came into this by not liking Donald Trump. They don't like him. So of course, it doesn't matter what he does, they're going to be anti him. And because these things are happening now, they're even more going out there saying, oh, he did this, he's a bad person, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so interestingly enough, most of this anti-Trump rhetoric, I am not seeing from the non-white South Africans that much. I'm seeing it more from Malaysians and other USA, like the USA people who didn't vote for him. I'm seeing it there mainly. Non-white South Africans, there's a little bit of it, but it's not that much, very little. And because in South Africa, what is happening is Donald Trump has caused a kind of a division in our country now, a racial division, because of his support for this Afrikaner group. Now, this Afrikaner group, there's two groups, Afriforum and Solidariteit, but Afriforum is the main, culprit here, because Afriforum is really the one who was causing the very big division between non-whites and whites. I've not seen this. I didn't even see this bad during the apartheid as what I'm seeing now. But it could be because during the apartheid there was no internet, and also because there was no freedom of speech. So people were not able to just let their expression out there and just say what they feel. So this could be the reason why that time it didn't look that obvious. But now it is like, whoa, it's in your face, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because now we see what is really happening in South Africa. We can see whites and non-whites, not a good thing. It's not going to happen. Okay, so anyway, also what is happening, and when I'm saying whites, I don't necessarily mean all the white people, because even with the whites, there's two camps. There's the English-speaking whites, well, there's the Afrikaner white, and then there's the non-Afrikaner. So the non-Afrikaner would be all our British descendants, Portuguese descendants, Italian, Greek, what other ones do we have? French, okay? So they're different. But then there's the Afrikaner group. So when I say white people, I mainly mean the Afrikaner group, because the other ones are kind of just in the middle there. They also like such a minority that they don't say anything. They're just in the background. They're waiting to see what's going to happen. Okay. So anyway, but also usually the English, French, the other white people who are not Afrikaners, they normally don't claim, they don't claim rights to the land. Somehow they kind of know, well, I'm British, UK is my country, I'm French, France, I'm Portuguese, Portugal, they kind of get this. But the Afrikaner, no. South Africa is their land. It's their country. They are indigenous. They have this mindset. They forget that they're actually from the Netherlands. They completely forgot about it. And interestingly enough, it seems like the Netherlands, they too have actually forgotten that the Afrikaners are their people. They have somehow also forgotten this. Okay. So, okay, I see everybody's left. There's only one person here. Okay, anyway, I'll talk to one person. But anyway, later I will post this again as a video. Right, so what do I want to say? Okay, right. So my feelings, let's get back to Trump. So like I say, Trump is supporting these, and when I'm saying Trump, I mean President Trump. I'm not being rude or disregarding his position. It's just easier for me to just say Trump than to keep saying President Trump, okay? But I'll try as best as I can. So President Trump is supporting these white Afrikaners because he's right. If there is a genocide, this is very wrong. But that has already been debunked. There's no such thing as a genocide. It's been debunked even by this Afriforum, who is an organization which represents the Afrikaner people. They're not a political party. They're just kind of like a NGO. Okay, they've already debunked it. So that's not the thing. So the main problem that President Trump is supporting them with is because we have racial laws, race-based laws. And these race-based laws, what President Trump is not, either he doesn't know, which I don't know, because I'm sure he reads. These laws are there to redress past injustices, which were injustices against non-white people. This is to redress that. Okay? Now, I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how he doesn't know this or doesn't understand this, and also the people in his admin, if, like, don't they know that this is happening? And, or it could be that because they don't agree that it should be redressed. They agree that whatever the white people did to the non-whites, it's like, oh, it's over, forget about it, it's in the past, continue. The thing is, what they don't understand is, it's not for them to say. It's for the non-whites of South Africa to say whether they want to just forget about it and continue, or whether they want to stick with it and sort it out. They want to redress it. As a minority, that's what I am saying about myself. I want it to be redressed. I don't want it to be thrown to the back here like it never happened, or it happened, but it wasn't a big deal, because I see people talking about it now like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. It was nothing. What is happening now is way worse. This is how they talk. No, me as a non-white person, I want it to be redressed and addressed and fixed. That's what I want. Not forever, but there has to be a deadline. Maybe, let's say, 20 years. It has to stop. Then we can let it go and continue. That's me speaking, like I say, my feelings, personal feelings as a non-white person. Okay? Right. Of course, the white people don't want this. They want the non-whites to just, oh, we didn't do it. It was our forefathers. No, it's not your forefathers, because those people who did it are still alive, because they are my age. Some of them a little bit older, because I'm Gen X. So it's the baby boomers and the Gen Xers that must redress this issue, because it happened during our lifetime and we are still alive. So we have to sort it out. It's not for the millennials and the Gen Zs and all those people to talk. No, you keep your mouth shut. It's for the people, the Gen Z and above, that must sort it out, because we lived through it. So this is my personal feeling about that. So, of course, President Trump, I think he maybe doesn't understand this, and he's adamant, because, again, there are a lot of white guys, rich at that as well. So I think it's like, pew, pew. Maybe they don't get it, which, I mean, I don't blame them, because, rich people, they live in another world, and white people live in another world. So, they don't live in my world. Okay? Right. So that's the one thing. It's called the BEE laws, Black Empowerment, Black Economic Empowerment. Okay? So if you are Malaysian, you have the same thing. It's called the Bumiputra status. You have the same thing. And I'll have you know, South Africa copied our BEE laws from your Bumiputra status laws. And you have been having it since independence. We've only been having it since 30 years ago. Yet, we get into trouble for it, but you don't. So who knows why that is? Okay, anyway, right. For those, because I know a lot of you here are Malaysians who are watching. Okay, so the other thing is, okay, so that's the BE laws. The other thing is, which is like really the contentious issue, is under the Expropriation Act. Because in this act, one of the clauses is expropriation without compensation. So the Expropriation Act is where the government will take land that has been abandoned for many years. They're just sitting there, nothing happening to it, it's not been paid, don't know where the owners are, all that kind of stuff. They're going to take it. Because to repurpose it for public interest. So whether they build houses for the poor or hospital or schools or whatever, they're going to repurpose it because it's just sitting there. Nobody's taking care of it. It's just abandoned, because this happened to a lot of the white people, because 1994, they were so afraid of the Swart Gevaar. Swart Gevaar means black danger, because when the black people took over, so they were so afraid of the Swart Gevaar that they just ran away to other countries, leaving everything they have behind. They just left, just like a pew. 30 years later, their properties are still there. They've never come back to take care of it. It's just there, overgrown. There's abandoned buildings. This happened with companies as well. Big companies, they just left, took all their money and just left the country. Didn't stay back to build the country, to go through the struggle with everybody. No, took the money and ran. So their buildings are there. So what has happened with these buildings and with this land is squatters have been squatting on the lands and in the buildings. And it has become health hazards, because there's no proper sanitation, there's no proper structure being built there. There was a big gas explosion in one of the apartments, I think a year or two ago, and 100 and some odd people died in that building. And it's an eyesore. These buildings are an eyesore. Even the land, it just makes the place look ugly, and sometimes they're like in the middle of the city. So the government, and these people, the land belong to, they in other countries, they in the US, in UK, wherever, they're not doing anything about it. So what the government is saying, these kind of properties, we're going to take it. And we are going to repurpose it so that so it can be used for good. Suddenly now, all these white people, oh no, we don't want that. We don't want that because this is, it's wrong. They cannot do that. And because when the government take it, they're not going to pay whoever owns it. Because it's been sitting there for how many years? Nothing has happened. You're not even here. You're somewhere else. You don't come back to take care of it. So they don't like that. So, of course, President Trump sides with the white people who say, no, they cannot take our land because it's our land, although we're not there to take care of it, blah, blah, blah. They cannot take it. He cannot take it. So, which again is, my feeling about that is that, again, President Trump is not a non-white person living in South Africa. So it's a bit difficult, I think, for him to understand or to grasp the situation properly, because for us non-whites, first of all, that land that these white people are claiming is theirs. We have to look back in history, because a lot of the land is not their land. It was stolen from the indigenous people. So this is where the argument is now, is we have to go, in my opinion, is we have to go back and first address the issue of who are the indigenous people of the country, who are Africans, who does the land belong to, and then from there we can decide. You know what I'm saying? Because at the moment, everybody just claiming it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. No, we need to go back and then sort this out. Because I think once this is sorted out, then we can decide whether the expropriation without compensation is valid. Okay, we need to do that. But it's a contentious subject in South Africa because even under the non-whites, there's a dispute over who the indigenous people of the land are. So even there's already an issue. So there's a lot of issues, but I don't think President Trump and his admin can fully appreciate the complexity of this issue. They just cannot. They cannot. You see, they have this issue in the US with the Native Americans, but then the Native Americans are a minority. Now you are dealing with the issue where it's the majority that have the right, yet it's the minority that are claiming rights. And President Trump himself have labeled Afrikaner South Africans as European descendants. So their land is where? It's in Europe. But of course the Afrikaners, no, we are African. We are African. We are African. We have the right. Anyway, so that's the issue that is going on there. So I'm going to make a different video about that topic, but because I needed to give some background on what President Trump is supporting. Okay, so you see what he's supporting. He's supporting the Afrikaners, and he's supporting them in saying that they are being mistreated because their land has been taken without compensation. It hasn't happened yet. It's just in the act, okay, at this moment. And then the second thing is that because of the BEE laws, the affirmative action laws for the majority, he is against that. So that is what is. And then of course the genocide has already been debunked. So he's not. So that we don't even have to discuss it. So anyway, my feelings about President Trump himself, not all the issues behind here that I already spoken about him. Like I said, I see people who they already don't like him because they don't like MAGA, right? They don't like the MAGA movement. They don't like the Republicans. That, to me, does not concern me because I am not a U.S. citizen. Let them have their little disputes about whether they like MAGA or not. I don't care about that because I don't live in the U.S. I am not a U.S. citizen. It's not my problem. So whether you don't like him because of that is, I don't care about that. The other thing is, people don't like his personality because he's brash, he's a bully, he's rude, he's a rapist, alleged, he's whatever story, blah, 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 blah. Me, I care zilch about that. Zilch. Because he's not my friend. He's never going to be my friend. We move in different circles. He is a white, rich man that plays golf. I'm not rich. I'm not white. I don't play golf. And on top of that, we won't meet because we have nothing in common. Absolutely nothing in common. Let's say even if I was rich, I played golf. I have nothing in common with him. So it's not going to happen. Okay? So I don't care about whether he raped 10 dogs, 6 cats, 43 budgies, whether he extorted money from, I don't know who, Genghis Khan and to the Ottoman Empire. I don't care about any of that stuff. To me, that is irrelevant. Certain things, is he a bully? Yes, he is. Of course he's a bully. But it also does not bother me that he's a bully. He's just a bully. But it's not even him. It's the USA, the whole USA has always been bullies. That is just who the USA is. That's who they are. They are bullies. I mean, we all know that. So it's not like something new. And I think President Trump is the USA personified. He is loud, he's brash, he's in your face. Only his way is right. He is the best. He is a bully. That is USA personified. So I don't have an issue with that because that's the USA. I know they are like that. So, it's like, it goes without saying that they'll do the things they do, and they can get away with things. They can do things that no other country can do. We also all know this. So I don't know what the big hoo-ha is about that. To me, it's like, yeah, well. So I don't have any bad feelings towards him. And a lot of things, I think 80% of things I agree totally with him. I'm like, yeah, go Trump. 20% of the things, of his personal things, of course, I don't agree with. Doesn't matter. Like I said, he's not my friend. When it comes to his policies, same thing. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't agree with. Like now, I don't agree with the fact that he's interfering in South African domestic and in our issues. It's not his business. But, like I said, he's the USA. Bullies, brash, love to interfere, love to start wars, love to destabilize countries. So, yeah, he doesn't have the right to do it, but being the USA, they will do it because, again, they're the most powerful, supreme country in the world. So, of course, they're going to do it. So, I don't know. Do I feel angry about it? Not angry, but like annoyed, but then also expected it. Because like I say, that's the whole USA's MO. So, so I don't get all emotional. Oh, yeah. And his morals, look at his morals. I don't give a shit about his morals. And I swore there. But then I think shit is not really a swear word. Sorry. Yeah, I don't care about his morals. Okay, let him have his morals. It's not got nothing to do with me. I'm just concerned about what is happening with him and South Africa. Okay? Right. And actually, I really admire him. And why I say that is because everything that he is doing and that he has always done when it comes to politics, he has been doing it for the benefit of the USA. So some will say, no, he's also doing it for the benefit of him and his cronies. And yeah, well, that's the USA. That's what they are based on. They do things and it's also for their cronies. They've all done it. Bush has done it. Obama did it. What's his name? Clinton. They all do it. So nothing new here. But I do admire that because whether it's going to put him in bad standing with other countries, with other people, with his own people, it doesn't matter. He pushes forward and he does what is right for his country. That's what I like about it. Now, when you look at our GNU, and before was ANC, but ANC is like not the in power now, it's the GNU. So I'm going to talk about the GNU as a collective. When you look at our GNU, they're still new, but still. They have to be like the USA. Everything they must do must be for the country, for the people, irrespective of what country says what. But it has to be to the benefit of the country and the people. Which in the past, when it was just ANC, 70%, if 80% of the time, that's not what they were doing. It was for their own benefit, for their party's benefit, or for their own individual benefit. Whereas Trump, no. Everything I've seen him do so far is for the benefit of the country. So that's like, so what do you think my feelings are for Trump? I'm quite okay with him. Like I said, I admire him. Okay, now I want to break down why some people are angry, like let's say in South Africa, why some people are angry with the USA. They're angry because the USA, because of these things, but it's especially because of our foreign policy. It's not so much about the Afrikaner. It's more because we support Palestine. We took Israel to the court. Oh, we stayed neutral during the Ukraine war. We did not condemn Russia. That's the other thing. They cannot stand us for doing that. But in these two cases, yes, ANC go. Because it was the right thing that ANC did. Because in these two things, you are standing with the South African people. Because the South African people, it was to our benefit that during the Ukraine-Russia saga, that South Africa stayed neutral. It was to our benefit. Because we do a lot of trade with Russia, and we are a BRICS country. It was not in our best interest to condemn Russia. So he did the right thing. ANC did the right thing. In this Palestine-Israel thing, South Africa did the right thing. Because us as a nation cannot sit back and do nothing when other people are suffering, especially since we have also suffered, so we know what it's like. We did the morally right thing. So, okay? Right. So, but what has Trump done now? Because of these things we did with Ukraine and with Palestine, and secondary, what is happening with our Afrikaners, the US decided to stop US aid to South Africa. Now, I am very happy about this because South Africa should not be taking any kind of aid from the US. And if you look at the aid that we were getting from the US was for HIV research and medicine. That research, I don't trust because that means our people were being used as guinea pigs. Not a good thing. This is not a good thing. Not at all. I don't support that because if you look at all the other countries, there's no AIDS and HIV research facilities. It was only in South Africa. And we know with research, there has to be guinea pigs. And of course, they will do this because we are Africans, right? So I say very good that President Trump did that. But then, actually, if you look at it, he was not just targeting South Africa because he stopped US aid in most countries in the world. So as far as I'm concerned, that was not like punishment to South Africa because he was doing it to everybody. Not at all. It's not punishment it's not like he was targeting South Africa. No. The other thing he did, he stopped the clean energy bill. Again, people are like, oh, look how he's punishing, especially the Afrikaners. You see, look how Trump is punishing the South Africans by stopping the clean energy bill. Ha, 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 ha. Well, the ha, ha, ha is on you because it's a known fact that the MAGA movement, Trump admin, all those, they've always been climate change, global warming deniers. Trump himself in the interview, I don't know if it was with Joe Rogan or Andrew Schultz, he was talking about, or Aiden Ross or one of those people, he was talking of Theo Vaughn, I don't know who was talking about, he was talking about how the windmills as an environmental hazard because when they break, they just fall on the floor and they're just there, and that makes the place look ugly. And this clean energy bill, he didn't just stop it in South Africa, he stopped it in other countries and also even in the USA itself. He stopped funding it. So I don't have to I'm happy that he did that because I agree, especially in South Africa, we have coal. Yeah, it leaves the footprint. I know nothing about climate change, to be honest with you. But I know because with this clean energy bill, our unemployment rate is already so high. Our people need to work. If we use coal, they will have work. They will have work. This clean energy thing, this is for rich countries. You rich people do that. Let us have our carbon footprint. We just one little nation, few nations that can let us do it. 20% of the people of the countries will be doing that, and you 80% rich countries, you do your clean energy. And the other thing is, Africa is beautiful. South Africa is beautiful. We don't need all those windmills all over the road when you're going on a long ride through the countryside, and you've got all these ugly windmills up in the air and or on the floor because they're broken. We don't need that. So I am Yes, Mr. Trump, President Trump. I like that. Then the scary thing everyone's talking about is the AGOA project. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know much about AGOA. I know it's some agricultural thing, and it actually benefits farmers, and which then benefits the people, because the farmers, the food goes to the people who eat it. But then, I don't know, I'm stupid about this, so maybe someone can help me. But to me, it's like, why do you need funding? Why does South Africa need funding from the US to farm? I mean, the land is our land. The people working the farm are our people. The farms are our people. Food is in abundance in the whole of Africa, except in the deserts and in war-torn, where there's war going on. But it's in abundance. I know. I've traveled from Ethiopia right down to South Africa, and I traveled from Mauritania right down to South Africa. I've seen all these countries. I've seen them. I traveled 1 year and the West Coast, and 2 years the East Coast. One on a motorbike, one by car, overland. So I know. I've seen. Food is in abundance. Why do we need aid? What are we getting? What agriculture? If it's machinery and stuff, we can build our own. We have China, we have Russia, we have all these countries that are BRICS countries that are good in industrial in manufacturing. South Africa has been a manufacturing country for many years. So I don't know. But then I could be stupid. I don't know what AGOA is supposed to be giving us. If Burkina Faso can do without an AGOA project, why can't we? Burkina Faso is a poor country, and they're doing quite fine. So I don't get it. I do know that the people who benefit from this are farmers, and I do know that the majority of farmers in South Africa are Afrikaners. So, again, in my ignorance, must be, because I don't know what AGOA is, I don't have a problem with President Trump for doing this. None at all. Okay, and the reason he's also doing all these things, I think it's right. He's doing the right thing, because all this money that is supposed to be going to South Africans, he can use it for his people, right? He should use it for his people. You see, he's doing things to benefit his country and his people. That's what I like about him. Oh, he looks bad in the eyes of the world. Let it be so, but in his own people's eyes, he's doing the right thing, which is more important. Okay? Well, as far as I'm concerned. Then, okay, so the US also just expelled our South African ambassador, Ebrahim Rasool. So again, they're making this big thing about it in the news. And the white South Africans, they are so happy it happened. Oh, yes. Salivating. Because the sad thing is, but this is again a live stream I'll do for another day about what is actually happening in South Africa. I'll be doing it tonight, but I'll be doing it on TikTok. White people in South Africa salivating. Yes, South Africa is going down. ANC is going down. The country is going down. People are going to starve. It's like, hello, you South African. Why are you talking like that? You are the one that's also going to suffer. This is your country. You profess to, I love this country. But look at you, how you're behaving. Look at your behavior. That's not very patriotic. Isn't it? Right. Anyway, yeah. So Ebrahim Rasool got expelled for voicing his opinion on some Zoom call about what he thinks the agenda of the Trump administration is. So now I say it's very good that the USA expelled him, because as a diplomat, he should be very careful with his words. He also must be careful who he says these words to, because there are a lot of people in the US who have their eyes on South Africa, who just want South Africa to go down. They want South Africa to fail. And sadly, these people who want this, they themselves are South Africans that are doing this. And the reason they want to do this is because they are in cahoots with some other entities in the USA who have South African ties, who want to see the country go down because of our Simon Towns port and the northwest of South Africa, where we have all our minerals. So that is why him, as the diplomat, should have known this. And I'm sure he knows this, because if I know it, I'm just a normal, like, stupid, ignorant person just sitting at home, you know, hanging around, but reading, researching. I'm sure he knows this. So he should have known to be careful because of his position. Like, I can say all this because what do I have to lose? What are they going to do to me? Revoke my visa? They can do that. It doesn't matter. I just apply on a different passport, you know. But even still, it's not for me. It's not important for me to go to the USA. But this is an ambassador. It's important for you to be there to represent South Africa. So you cannot talk things like that, because there are spies who are just waiting for you to say something so that they can do this, so that they have more ammunition to make sure that South Africa can fail. But you, Mr. Rasool, you didn't get it. You were too busy being out there. So good that he got expelled. But in saying that, I also want to say I don't necessarily disagree with what he had to say. Some of the things he said is actually, yeah, now that I think about it, it's like, yeah, makes sense. But am I now going to be angry with President Trump for doing this? No. Or for the Trump admin or for the USA? No. President Trump himself, I have no ill feelings for the dude. Zero. Doesn't matter how many articles you send to me about him, videos, things he said, blah, blah. I have no animosity towards the guy. None. None. He is doing what he has to do for his nation and his people, which is something that I wish my government would do, because now they are in this situation, this GNU, where they are now, there's such conflict between these two countries, and the USA is our second biggest trader. China is number one. US is our second biggest trader. So if our government feels that, they have to look at our nation and see what will benefit us. Does it benefit us for them to mend, to salvage the relationship? And by doing so, they would have to give up their pro-Palestine stance. They'd have to give the Afrikaners the right to do whatever they want. If they feel this is going to benefit the majority of the people, and if they feel that the majority of the people want this, then they should do what is right. But if they feel it does not benefit South Africa to kowtow now to the US, although they are the second biggest trader, and that it is more beneficial for the majority who they represent to face the USA, face their wrath, and say to them, we represent the majority, and the majority are saying we are pro-Palestine, and the majority is saying we want to redress past injustices, and the majority is saying this South Africa is our land because we are African descendants. We are not European descendants. And if the majority will say, since 1948, we were oppressed, we did not have a part in politics, in the economy. Our education system was set up in such a way that we could not progress further from just being skilled laborers. That we want to address and redress these injustices. If they want to go down that route, they also can. But for us South African people, we must know whether they go this way or this way. It's not going to be a very good ride. It's going to be a very, very bumpy ride. A very, very, very extremely bumpy ride. Because if we go the US way, kowtow, yes, my Basi, we are now not pro-Palestine, let them all die, kill them, genocide them, we on board. We don't care about the majority of the people, what they think, but we, the government, this is what we will do, because we need your trade. We need it. We need your trade, because they have to say that, because it seems like the Trump administration, they don't understand that it might be an issue with the majority, but the ANC has to decide. So they might, not ANC, the GNU, they have to decide, okay, yeah, forget about what our majority wants. We're going to go with this. And then also to say, we will do everything, we will do what the minority wants. Like, in the past, when the minority, when they were in power, when they used to tell us what to do, we're going to go back to that. We don't care what the majority does. Because they can do that if they feel it's going to benefit the nation. Because what will just happen is the majority are just going to rise. And it's going to be a big mess. It might be a bloody mess. I'm just saying, might be. Okay, so that's one thing. That's why I say it's a bumpy road. That's going to happen, so it's going to be bumpy for us. Or if the other one happens, where they say, no, we're still staying pro-Palestine because, we represent the majority and that's what they want. And we are sticking with our BEE laws, and we're sticking with our Expropriation Act because we need to redress the injustices, because that's what the majority wants. We're going to get totally cut off by the US. Maybe we'll have less, there'll be sanctions, there'll be, I don't know. It's going to be a bumpy ride, either way. It's a complex issue. But let's see if our GNU is going to be like President Trump. Put the people first. And so, yeah, so this video was mainly just to address that question about what are my feelings about President Trump and all the things he's done. So just again, in a nutshell, I have no ill feelings towards him because he is doing what's right for his people and his country. And I admire that. And when it comes, that's his policies. Okay, it doesn't benefit me, but it benefits, so that I admire that. On a personal level, I don't know the guy. I'm never going to meet the guy. I'm never going to know him. So I don't really care what he does with his private life and with this, how he is. Okay, so thank you for those who watched and who actually commented, and please like and subscribe. I really and share, because I really need to get to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, thank you very much. Cheers and have a good day.